If you want to hear how I'm doing on my Project 10 uses, then stick around. Hi there, it's Hélène, and boy do I have an update for you. This month of July has been extremely good to me when it comes to panning, and this project is no different. So as you can tell from the grin that I cannot wipe from my face, I have a fantastic update for you for the Project 10 uses. I am going to go in no particular order, which will make a whole lot of sense towards the end. And let's just get into it. And we're going to start off with a product that may be a little weird for a Project 10 uses, and it's a candle. And I started off, I believe, the last video introducing it first. And it is the Prosecco and Rose. And it is a candle that I was reluctant to use because it was more of a bougie product in my candle collection. And it's kind of funny because it's actually not that expensive. I don't tend to buy super expensive candles. And it was in a really pretty container. So I was kind of reluctant to use it, and just a nice label and everything. And it's a 3-wick. It's just fancy compared to what I usually use. Usually it's a single wick and not a frosted glass and that kind of thing. And it smells wonderful, and I'm going to empty it out and reuse whatever wax is left because that's something I do. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Not only that, but I'm actually a third of the way through a second one of these. So I am over my hurdle of not wanting to use my fancier candles. And I really enjoyed it, and I'm definitely enjoying using my second one. So needless to say, I exceeded my 10 uses for this because I finished it and started using another one. So I'm super happy that this was in the project, and so happy for how much joy I had using this candle. So super, how many times can I use that word? I'm very happy. Now this is a product that I was not reluctant to use because I was trying to save it. I was reluctant to use because I don't like this kind of product. And it is the StriVectin SPF 30. I don't like using SPF cream. I'm always worried about getting it in my eye, and this one has gone in my eye twice over the last year, and it's just not pleasant. And this is a different delivery mechanism. This is one of those where you push to get product out, and you'll see that it is completely empty. So not only did I do the 10 uses, but I actually finished the product. And you can see how it works. So you push the cream out until there's absolutely nothing left. And that's how you get all of the cream out. And I did take this apart so that I could get every last bit of cream out of it. And so that's what the container looks like. I don't have a problem with StriVectin as a brand whatsoever. I just am not big on SPF, and I know that I need to use it. So putting this in a 10 uses project was good because it got me in the habit of reaching for this cream, and I kept reaching after the 10 uses. So I'm pretty happy with that. And I just finished this one just a few days ago, actually. So I definitely used it for the month as opposed to just 10 uses. But again, grateful that it gave me that habit of reaching for this cream and none other. I even put my First Aid Beauty coconut water cream away in my train case so that I did not have easy access to it, and that definitely helped me as well to use this cream. Now, two products that are very similar, same brand, same type of product that I put into this 10 uses is this one. And it is the Liquid Glow from Anastasia Beverly Hills, and I have Rose Gold and Oyster. And these are some that were complimentary products that I got in an Anastasia Beverly Hills order, 2 separate orders actually. And I just wanted to use them each 10 times, either together or separately, and I did end up using this one more often, and I had to catch up with Oyster, just to get used to the product and to decide whether or not this would just be something that I could reach for and just know how it works without any surprises. And I have achieved that. So I did use them each a minimum of 10 times, 10 times for Oyster for sure, and then I think 11. And then this one, a handful more than that. So I really do like them quite a bit. I'm happy they're rolling out though, because I want to use other highlighters, and this was kind of hindering my progress. And this rose gold I was using as a highlighter slash blush, and so that was preventing me from using other blushes that I'm trying to use in my collection. So the 10 uses for each have been achieved and exceeded, and I'm happy to roll them out. Next up is a highlighter, and that is a highlighter, a powder highlighter this time, from Makeup Geek, and it's Moon Phase. And this is what it looks like. Now, it was brand new when I put it in the project, and you will see it has quite a bit of wear now. And I used it for the 10 times. I managed to finish my 10 uses, and as a matter of fact, I used it, I think, 11 times, so I exceeded the amount of usage required. And I had a lot of purple or cool-toned looks this past month, and I was mostly using it. I did use it as a cheek highlighter a number of times, but I also used it on my brow bone and inner corner, and it worked out beautifully. And I think that this shifting pink to blue highlighter is one that I can reach for on a regular basis. So I'm happy to have used it as much as I have, and will definitely keep reaching for it on the regular. Another Anastasia product that is new to my collection is the Dip Brow. I got this Dip Brow in the color Taupe, and I wanted to learn how to use it, and to force me to use it without any reluctance, putting it in a 10 uses project seemed like the obvious solution. And I did use it, I think, 11 times total, and that's fine. I think it's for sure 10, because I recorded 10, but I think I used it one more time after that. And so you'll see it was brand new when I started, and so you can see some definite usage. And it takes very, very little of the Dip Brow to finish a brow look. And so, yeah, I'm pretty happy to have dug into it, have removed any kind of apprehension in using the product, and I'm pretty happy about that. This next product is one that has been hanging around my collection for way too long. It was a sample type size product. It's the GinZing Refreshing Eye Cream to Brighten and Depuff from Origins. And I just didn't care for this eye cream. It just felt like an extra step in the morning, and well, yeah, I'm already using moisturizer and blah, blah, blah. Well, I did manage to use it more than 10 times. It has turned into a product that is now part of my routine. And not that I would repurchase this one, because it's not, I don't think it's anything crazy great, and I have a couple of other brands that I really like OLE Henriksen, and there's another one I'm not thinking of right now. Anyway, but I will finish it. So this one is my morning eye cream to, again, brighten and depuff. Don't know how much it does of either one of those, but I'm using an eye cream in the morning. And I will simply keep using it until it's finished beyond this project. So I have far exceeded the 10 uses, but this project had me focusing on it, and it has become a habit, which I'm very happy about. I'm repeating that a lot, and it's going to be the same thing for this next product. I was not using this D-Bronzi by Drunk Elephant, and I received this as a deluxe sample, a previous package as a deluxe sample, and then I went and bought the full size during a 20% off sale, and I wasn't touching it, and it was going on a year old, and I thought, I can't be doing this. I purchased this product, I need to use it. So putting it in the 10 uses project, again, created a habit. Very happy about that. And so I have continued to use it beyond the 10 uses. So it's now part of my morning makeup slash skincare application. So really happy about that. And when I look at the light, I can't really see through the container, but there's definitely been a fair amount of use when this product was virtually untouched when I put it into the project this past month. Do I like it? Yes, it gives a slight tint to my moisturizer or to any sort of foundation that I'm going to wear, but I usually mix it with moisturizer, and it's just slightly bronzy. Just give you a look at it. So it's just slightly bronzy, so it gives a little bit of a tint to anything that you're going to mix it with, and that's really what I prefer to do, mixed with a moisturizer or mixed with a maybe slightly too light for me foundation. And it says that it is anti-pollution. It's an anti-pollution sunshine serum with platinum peptides. Not sure, but I do like the coloring effect, and if it does protect my skin a little bit during the summer, not SPF wise, but pollution wise, why not? It's expensive, but I have it, I might as well use it. Now, something that I usually include in a 10 uses project is perfume. And sometimes it's tough to use them 10 times, and sometimes it's a breeze. In this case, it was such a breeze. So this one was a new to me perfume, a deluxe size perfume from Jo Malone, and it is the Lime, Basil, and Mandarine Cologne. I have used it for more than 10 times. I'm halfway done. That never happens. And it's quite a bit, actually. It's a total of 9 ml or 0.3 fluid ounces. And it is a spray, which I really appreciate. And I'm putting it on morning and night, and I'm really enjoying it, so much so that I ended up getting a second one of these that is on its way to me in the mail. And it was one of those gifts with purchase that I managed to nab another one. And I'm happy. I'm really enjoying the Jo Malone fragrances, and looking forward to trying a second one. And now we have my last product, and it is a product that was sitting in my collection for a year, and finally got it into this project. And it is the NYX Huile Prodigieuse Or, which is a dry oil with very tiny glitter flecks in it. And what you do is you just shake it to mix it up, and then you have the appropriate mix to then spray in your hand for application. I guess you can spray it right on your body, but I tend to go into my hand and then spread it with my hands. So this is for an after shower type application, and it does leave some very fine shimmer on your skin until obviously you go swimming or shower again. And I was really interested in it, but I was just too chicken for some reason to try it. And it doesn't really leave any sort of residue on your clothes. It does kind of soak into the skin pretty quickly because it's a dry oil. It doesn't really have much of a smell. And apparently you can use it at multi-purpose. You can use it on your face, your body, or your hair. And I did go over the 10 uses. And I will say, though, that I have not tried it in my hair, and I think that I might try that next. So face, body, hair. I've never used it on my face either, but I'm not really interested in doing that. But for the body, for sure, what I was doing is, at the beginning I was using it after body butter, and then I thought, well, why am I just not combining the two? So that's what I ended up doing. So what I did was I combined it with a body butter that I'm not too crazy about, mostly because of the smell. The product itself, aside from the smell, is fine. The smell is just kind of an overpowering, like almost like a rose scent, and I have very little of it left. And you may or may not be able to see that there is some of that dry oil mixed in with the body butter. It starts to be very hard to see, but you'll see that I have some spray on the side of the bottle or the tub. So what I was doing was putting about 6 to 10 sprays of the body oil into this tub, and then mixing it with a makeup spatula, this one. So mixing them together until I had sort of a golden putty, and then using it just as the body butter and not having to do 2 steps of going all over my body twice with 2 different products. It has worked really well, and if anything, by doing that, it made it much easier to use the dry oil than just on its own. And I will say, if you're trying to use up oil products for the body, that in my experience, mixing it with a body butter and making it one step made it a whole lot easier to use the oil. So I would recommend that to anyone. Now, I don't know how the effect of mixing them together, which is why I was doing kind of a mixing the very, very top together and not going too far in with the body butter every single time, so that if there was an effect of mixing them, that it didn't really have any time to spoil the underlying body butter. And so I don't know if I was being overly careful, but anyway, that's how I was handling it. And it worked really well for me. So I'm happy I came up with that hack. So if you've been keeping count, that is a total of 10 products, exactly the 10 products that I introduced last time. And I am done with them. That has never happened to me in the 10 uses project. 10 new products, over 10 uses, minimum 10 uses or more for each one of the products, which means I am rolling in a total of 10 new products this time around. I am so stinking happy about that. It just feels so good. I just want to give myself a big pat on the back. And but the celebration is short-lived because we have to introduce the next 10 products. So here they are. Okay, I have 10 new products, and let's go from the smallest to the biggest products. Now, I do have a few that are samples, but they are samples that have just been hanging around, and I would love to get some use out of them. So the first two, which I am considering one item, they're two perfumes, but they're two mini sample size perfumes. And the first one is called Not a Perfume by Juliet Has a Gun. And this other one is called Stella from Stella McCartney. I've never heard of this before. But anyway, these are the two perfumes that I will count as one item. And they should, combined together, they should give me at least 10 uses. And so it would just be nice to get a couple more perfume samples just out of my collection. Another little spray bottle is the Living Proof Restore Perfecting Spray, and it's a conditioning detangling spray. And I have had this for what feels like forever, at least a year, and I would just like to use it. It's 15 ml. I should be able to get it done possibly within 5 or 6 uses, but it's just something that would be good to get finished and get out. And another hair product that I'm introducing is the OUAT Hair Care Wave Spray Spray Undulation. And I will have to read up on it, but the short version is it's a weightless texture mist for effortless chic undone hair, and it's sodium chloride free. So I would like to finish this, and I'm thinking that this might be around 10 uses. It's 30 ml or 1 fluid ounce. So I will definitely try this texture mist because my hair tends to just go flat, and I am trying to get better about using texture enhancing sprays, and so might as well try to get more use out of this one, because as you can tell, I think I've used it once and it's just been sitting on my counter for months. Now this next product I'm ashamed of. I have had it for I think 3 years, and I did use it quite a bit at the beginning, and then it just got parked for no good reason. And it is the Maybelline Eye Studio Pot Liner. And it is in Blackest Black. It's 3 grams of product, and I have used it quite a bit. I just haven't used it recently, and I'm scared that I am going to, can I get it to focus? And I'm just worried that it is going to dry up on me and be unusable and just go bad. And it does look pretty dry, and I think I'll use some Duraline. And 10 uses should definitely give me a yay or nay on whether or not I'm going to keep it in my collection and try to finish it. That Maybelline product is such a good example of why the 10 uses is great for to make it to make a decision on whether to keep or ditch a product that we have. So pretty happy about this project for that purpose. Here's another sample that will last me quite a long time, and it's the Boscia Porefecting White Charcoal Mattifying Treatment Primer. And this primer, for some reason, scares me. I don't know why. It doesn't really say anything. It says apply onto cleansed, moisturized skin, but it doesn't really say why it's a Porefecting White Charcoal Mattifying Treatment Primer. I don't really have any problem with my pores. It says it's skin balancing. Don't know. Anyway, 10 ml or 0.338 fluid ounces. And there's no way I'll finish it, but definitely I want to get into the habit of using it because I need to start using a different primer. And this one's just been hanging around for a long time, and I don't think that if I didn't commit to 10 uses that I would even crack it open. So I'm happy that I'm committing to using it, and I'll at least know what I think of it by the end of 10 uses and stop using it then, or end up finishing it. Who knows? Now this product, I just want to get 10 uses to make sure that I fully understand what I think of it. And it is the Brow Luxe, which is a brand new brow product, brand new to me. And it is imported in my hometown of Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. And I wanted to support a local company. Now this product, here's the box, but here is the actual component. This is a brow product that is made in Korea and imported to Canada. They do ship this product anywhere in the world. And it is very reminiscent of the Brow Wiz, but it has a triangular head as opposed to that tiny pencil head, and a spoolie on the other side. And I do love the fact that the caps are interchangeable each side. Well, I do want to get used to that triangle head and to using this kind of a pencil. It's the first time I've used a pencil like this, and I would like to get very clear on my thoughts, and I just want to use it 10 times. So that is what my plan is in introducing this product into this 10 uses project. I think that if I wasn't committing to 10 uses for this brow product, I would probably just keep going to my Pan That palette, which is what I have in my brows today. And it would be really hard for me to use a brand new product when I know I have older brow products, but I do want to have some final thoughts on it. And this is going to force me to focus on this brow product as opposed to anything else that I might want to use instead. 4 more products, but these are the big ones. So the first one I want to talk about is this Sephora Holographic Cheek Palette. I think that's what it's called, Holographic Face and Cheek Palette. And it is a set of highlighters, if I can open it. Okay, it's a set of 3 blushes and 3 highlighters. And I have done a swatches video on this palette that I will include right here for you. And I did use the highlighters today. I actually used this one on the brow bone, and I used this one on the cheeks. And really happy about that. I do like all 3 blushes, there's no problem with that. But I want to use them in a bunch of combinations, and I did do that video and then kind of parked the palette. And using it 10 times, I will have, just like with the Brow Luxe, I will have a pretty good idea of what I think of this palette from an application and usage perspective, not just a swatching perspective. Regardless, I know that I am enjoying these highlighters, but I do want to mix and match the blushes and the highlighters on my face and have a better idea what I think of them as combinations, which was the whole point of the release of this palette in the first place, and I haven't really used it that way yet. I intend to fix that. And I have the same type of purpose with these other 3 palettes. I have them, but I have not been using them. So in my massive Anastasia Beverly Hills hauling in the last few months, I did end up getting a few highlighter palettes. And this is the Moonchild. I do have the Aurora as well, but that one is already well loved. This Moonchild I have swatched, but I have not used yet. And usage is going to include the eyes and the cheeks, so face and eyes. And I do think that I'll be able to do a number of looks, including the Moonchild, over the next number of weeks. I just know that if I did not have a commitment of 10 uses, I think this palette would sit here for a while, just because it's not something I reach for on the regular yet. And I want to have that habit again, which I have had in the past, of reaching for a highlighter palette for inner corner, for brow bone, for even inner lid. And I do want to use it. I think it's a really nice cool tone palette, and I have it and I want to use it. And the same goes for this other 6-pan palette that is also a highlight palette. It is the Dream Glow Kit from Anastasia, which I'm pretty sure has been discontinued. And this one came to me busted, but given it's discontinued and they just refunded it to me, I'm just going to keep using it. And you can see that there are quite a few colors, and it's more glittery, and I think I'll use this one more on the eyes than anything. But I've swatched it. I am very happy to have had the experience with this palette. I'll put the swatches video right there. I'm kind of excited by all of them, because there's peach, there's pink, there's yellow, there's green, there's purple. I think there's no excuse for me not to reach for this palette almost as a default. I think it's easy. So for blues, I think Moonchild is an obvious one, the cool toned. And then for pretty much the whole rainbow, this would be an easy one to reach for inner to 2/3 of the lid, to complement other Anastasia shadows. I think this would be a no-brainer. And why? If I think that way, I haven't started using it yet. I don't have an answer for you, but that makes it a good reason to put into the 10 uses project. So I'm pretty happy about that. It just makes sense. And finally, last but not least, I want a little bit more use out of my lip palette from ABH. I have done a few videos on this palette, and I really want to use it some more. I have dipped into all of the lip products over time. I've done a few videos on it, and I do want to complement an ABH eye look with the palette when I do some more looks with the various palettes. I'm pretty much through half of the palettes that I have purchased from ABH, and so I have a number of looks still to create with those palettes. And so I don't see why I would not be including this lip palette as a finishing touch to complement the eyeshadows. It just makes sense, and I think 10 uses, some with ABH looks and some without, I think it makes a good deal of sense, and so I'm happy to include that as my 10th product in this brand new, 100% new product, 10 uses project. So that's it. Those are my 10 products. If you want to take a look at them again, you can find them all listed in the description box for ease of reference. And I cannot wait to update you on these 10 products. I don't know that I'll be able to match what I did this past month, but I am hoping to have some decent progress for you and look forward to updating you in a month's time. If you have any questions, comments, please leave me a note. That would be great. And I look forward to seeing you in the next update and in the next video. But for now, take care.